Final segment of ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Want to say thank you for rocking with us throughout the entire show. We really appreciate you. You guys are pushing us to almost 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Man, go check us out. Man, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Wherever you download your podcast, you can find us. And the people who have found us, they've been leaving us 5-star reviews. So when you find us and get right and you listen to this podcast, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. But T, the news is coming down fast and furious. We got to mention it because, hey, I talked about it and they listen.
Yes,
The
you
Falcons
did.
listen to this show. I promise you they listen to this show. It's just amazing how that works. I just don't understand. I do understand it. My mom
You
told me I was
understand.
gonna be great. My mom told me I'm
Exactly.
gonna be great. I'm gonna be great. That's what it is. But the Falcons actually picked up a Jets player. It wasn't a defensive lineman, but they picked up Chuma Edoga from the New York Jets, and that was a team that they played against. Like you said, you get a chance to see those guys, you see how they function in practice, how they work. He was a third-round pick in 2019, so obviously it got to be some type of talent there. So. And he was competing for a spot at the swing tackle spot for the Jets, and it didn't quite work out for him. So the Falcons claimed him on waivers. So hey, we'll see how that works out. But T, this is for the culture, and it is the intersection between sports, entertainment, and the culture, and sometimes whatever we want to talk about, because that's just how we get down on this show. Now. We talked about how, a lot of things, how people go through things in life, right? And then when it comes to athletes, though, you sometimes never really know what's going on with them. And I think that this definitely was the case for John Wall. It comes out that during COVID, he was having some issues, right? He was struggling with the death of his mother, and then his grandmother passed not too soon after that. And
Mhm.
and I think that when you think about and even bring Calvin Ridley to the situation we talked about yesterday, like you never really know what these guys are going through. And then a lot of times people want them to not be human beings in these particular
Sure.
cases, right? Like put it to the side, this is what it is, and you have to go out there and play. Yeah, and that's just not a good, that's not a real way of thinking, right? So
Right.
and then of course add to that,
Mhm.
from a court standpoint, he was injured. He was
Yeah.
dealing with the injury and everything. And he even went as far as to say that he was contemplating suicide. T,
Mhm.
like, how is it? Can we not get to a point in life, from a fan standpoint, for the media who cover the teams, because they're not, they can be just as bad as well. How
Yeah.
can we get to the point where we can just look at these guys like humans and say, you know what? If you're dealing with some stuff off the court or off the
Mhm.
field, like I have to take that in consideration if you're not necessarily living up to my expectations for you as a player.
Yeah, and you just put the nail on the head. How do we make it real and keep it honest about the fact that they are human beings? Every time they show courage to tell us their truth, it humanizes it. It makes
Yep.
it less taboo. John Wall,
Immediately, T.
I'm just going to keep it 100, Jarvis. John Wall is an athlete. He is a man, and he is African American. That is
Yes.
043 as far as individuals who are going to be likely to tell you about their mental challenges. But this guy
Tell me
went
about it.
above and beyond and said, forget that I'm an athlete, forget that I'm a male, and forget that I'm African American. I am going to talk to you about my issues. And he was so forthright. If you guys have a chance to check out the video, please do, because he was authentic. He was just as real as it comes. It was just as matter of fact for him. And I like that. I like that because it was saying, I'm not ashamed. I'm going to tell you guys my truth
Mm-hmm.
now that I have an opportunity to do so. And I really appreciate that, because whether it is an adult who's dealing with some of those challenges, or whether it is a child who's dealing with those challenges, or all of the above, everyone needs to know that normalizing mental challenges, dealing with death, overcoming obstacles, especially when they come to you one, two, three punches, injury, mom, and you're watching her leave. You're
Yeah.
watching her transition, and you know
Mm-hmm.
that oh so well, and
Yes.
your
Yes.
grandmother, and trying to battle through those things and be expected to be the John Wall on the court every single day. That's a whole heck of a lot. So I was always rooting for him, because I low key I was like, can he come here? Can he come here? Is there any way he can come here?
Right. Yeah.
When there were first started to be rumors that he was trying to, or potentially trying to get out of DC, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that was my thought, and then I thought to myself, why are we, what's really going on with him? And I actually thought about reaching out to a friend of mine, a business friend of mine, colleague, and
Mm-hmm.
saying, sis, what is going on up there? I'm so glad that I had that second thought, Jarvis, because it goes back to me as a media person. I stepped away and I was like, but I wonder what's really going on, because there's more to this than just this guy wants out or this guy doesn't want to play. And here we have it. So again, shout out to my guy, John Wall. Thank you so much for saying what you said and doing what you did. And I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you just kill it out there in LA. I hope that you just give the Clippers the bump. And I know, I just believe that Clipper Nation is rooting for you to come there and do some great things.
And a lot of times, T, like this generation gets a lot of flack for what they do as far as
Right.
social media and all that stuff.
Yep.
But the one thing that I will stand on top of tables and
Indeed.
really just champion them for
Mhm.
is speaking on this stuff, because like you said, I grew up in a generation where you're not supposed to talk about how you feel as a man,
That's right.
and especially as a black man. Like,
That's right.
no,
And
you keep
an
that to
athlete.
yourself and you suck it up, buttercup, and keep it moving. Like, you don't
Mhm.
you don't talk about that type of stuff. You don't talk about feelings and all that. And like I said, I can feel him. Like, I
Mhm.
literally felt him reading that article, and I was just,
Mhm.
because, like I said, I went through that exact same thing, literally.
Mhm.
My mom, I dealt with the death of my mom in 2013,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I literally was there until she took her last breath, and
Yeah.
then at the beginning of 14, I lost both of my grandparents on my mom's side, so it was just. It's a lot. And then I think that the one thing that just really touched me, and it just made me really feel like, okay, I totally get this brother, was when he talked about the support that he had from the mother of his children. And I know
Yeah.
that for me, Tanae, like my wife, like she was there. Like, when I can't even tell you the questions I was asking her during those times. Like, I can't even reveal that, because it would just, you wouldn't even think that a human being would ask another person stuff like that. So I think that support system,
Yes.
and what this generation is doing as far as speaking on mental health, I
Mhm.
think that's the way that we get to a point where it's not taboo to talk about it, and we get to the point where fans, which is short for fanatic, we got to remember that,
Yes.
they start to understand, like, you know what, this cat is going through some things that I don't even know how I will be able to deal with it, just simply as a regular human being, right? I say regular because athletes they have a skill set that is in a very
Superpower.
small percentile. So I can say superior, in that particular moment. So I think that when you have those guys sitting around, doing those things, having these conversations, I think that that's the key to us getting to a better space,
Yeah.
from in the sports world, so to speak.
Indeed, indeed, it is. And again, we just cheer him on. We are definitely 100% rooting for you. And thank you again, John, just for your being so willing to just tell your truth. So, yeah, I mean, to me, this was one of those where I say to myself, we don't necessarily always say that things are exciting, but they are exciting. One more thing before we wrap up, real quick, because Jarvis, I got to let you just jump in on this one because we're going
Hmm.
to end on just a little bit of a lighter note. But I also like when athletes tell the truth, like your boy, Harold Varner III, kept it 100.
But like, so everybody been losing their mind about live golf. People on they even call them live defectors. I was like, oh my god, like, this is not that serious. Like, these dudes are making business decisions to go on. Like, the British Open champ Cam Smith just recently announced that he's going over, and I love the way Harold Varner put it. He's like the truth is my life is changing. The opportunity to join live golf is simply too good of a financial breakthrough for me to pass by. When somebody, how it really touched them, because when you say financial breakthrough, it's just so much meaning to that. That just lets you know that HV3 was just like, man, I'm about to change my life with this type of money that they're offering me. So guess what? I'm going to take it. And that's the reason why I'm taking it. And also, I got a foundation that I can do some things. I want to tell people about how good the game of golf is. And you know what that means too, because guess what? Harold Varner is a black man. He wanted to introduce the game of golf to a lot of people. And you can introduce the game of golf to a lot of people when you're making that type of money that they throwing out. They throwing 8 and 9 figure deals out there just to doggone sign up. Like, come on. Like make it make sense, and it made sense for him. So good for HV3 for going ahead and telling us exactly how it is. I appreciate you, my brother.
Because HB3, with him, the math was mathing. So, anyway, guys, we hope that the math
Yes.
again with the Braves tonight because we need them to get back on track
Come on
because
now.
we have a true rubber match on Thursday. And of course, we're watching the waiver wire just like you guys. So, we're going to react to any and all changes to the Falcons roster that we find out when we get back here tomorrow. And as always, when you finish watching ATL Day Ones, we want you to check out Hitting Hard with John Chuckery because it's always a good look. And you know what else is a good look? Just in case you guys are ever having some thoughts that this life is not worth living anymore, don't stay in that space. Go ahead and dial 988 on your cell phone. Talk to somebody about it. They're there to listen to you, or you can call 1 800 273 8255. That's actually the new Suicide National Prevention Hotline because, listen, as much as we love you guys checking us out here, we love you as a human being that has something to give in this world. So, appreciate you guys for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. Keep your mental right, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Y'all come back now, you hear?